The Teapot Dome Scandal. The Teapot Dome Scandal was a scandal involving an oil reserve in Wyoming used to fuel warships. It happened in the 1922 and involved national security, big oil companies, and bribery at the national level. Albert Fall released the rights to produce oil on the land of Wyoming and also including land in California to the Sinclair Oil Company Corporation and the Pan American. He didn't allow other companies to competitively bid for the contracts. It was totally legal at this time, but yet not the fair thing to do. Later, it was discovered that the companies paid and bribed Fall to choose them. The Pan American Oil Company reportedly gave $100,000. He also gained $300,000 from the Teapot Dome. He was then sentenced to a year in jail due to misconduct while in office. He became the first presidential cabinet worker to be sentenced to jail. The Navy decided that they needed a fuel far better than coal. Coal-powered ships in the Navy can only go so far till they need a refill station. But with petroleum from oil, it can go much farther and you don't need as many refill stations. As the ships started converting, the Navy became concerned on the oil supply and the future of oil availability. The scandal was known before Watergate as the most serious scandal and problematic thing in the government history. The name came from the shape of the rock above the oil reserve, a teapot, and a place where you store oil is called a dome.
This, like the Watergate, started getting the media involved in many other things. The investigation started happening more and being watched on. Media got more things public than ever and got the American people involved more in the country.
The Teapot Dome scandal and the Watergate scandal are similar because they both have to do with the national government and the national government. In the Watergate, Nixon hired people to go into a temper with the other side to see what Nixon could do to win the people. Fall asked to get rights to drill oil to the companies paid him. The surprise of him being rich fast caught the media's attention, and that's what the news book out. Fall got his pressure from his mistakes and decided to resign.
When the press found out, Harding pressured Sinclair to pay off the press and the oil men with $1 million. It was finally released in 1923 when the president went on a world tour. On that tour, he died of a heart attack, which the media found upsetting, but it did not bury the teapot scandal.
Secretary of Interior Albert Fall arranged the Navy to transfer oil reserves to the Department of Interior. He arranged to his friends Harry Sinclair, who controlled the Mammoth Oil Company, and Edward Doheny of Pan American Petroleum, to lease the sites for drilling. They kicked back to what would be $500,000 to Fall. Don't press space bar. Harding may have been oblivious to the scam, though officials from the Department of Interior claim that Secretary Fall granted the oil leases without presidential authorization.
Warren Harding was not impeached even though he knew about the Teapot Dome deal for Albert Fall and the oil companies. The response from the public from Albert's Fall situation led him to resigning.
The Teapot Dome scandal left a huge impact on history. Other than the term Teapot Dome was used to signify the government corruption. The president at this time, Warren G. Harding, was a Republican. Having a big scandal happen while a Republican was in term left the Republican Party without a bad reputation. In fact, a Republican president, Calvin Coolidge, was elected in 1924 after the scandal. The teapot scandal left little to no difference in history other than being a big scandal before Watergate. I think so.